everybody, welcome to another episode of the Caregiver and Spoonie podcast. I'm your host, Jordan Banderas. Just a quick reminder, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any episodes of the podcast. And again, thank you for all the emails and the support and the comments that I have received in some of the social media platforms that we use. Now we're on Instagram. And so just remember to share and like so people can see the page and can hear about the podcast so we can make it grow. So on today's episode, I want to get a little bit deep. I wanna talk about finding your why. This is actually something that I was thinking about this week during the week, and I was like, I want to share that. Now, when you're a spoonie or even a caregiver, you're gonna have days that are going to be bad. You're going to have some days that are going to be like you just want to quit. This happened to me actually on Tuesday. Like I was ready to like give up. I was like, I'm so tired. I didn't wanna go to work. I didn't wanna do anything. I was just like, I want to take like a whole month off. So it was like I didn't know what to do. I felt helpless. I felt like so tired. But then I was like, there's a reason why I do this. There's a reason why I get up. There's a reason why I am doing the podcast. I need to find that why. And I had to dig in deep. You have to dig deep, like extremely deep. And I realized that my reason why is my wife. The reason why I do what I do is to be able to take care of my wife. My wife, Katie, she's my why. And what I realize is that sometimes we just do things out of the account, like out of habit. So we don't even know why we're doing them. But when you're a caregiver or a spoonie, you're gonna be under so much stress. Like you're gonna have like bad days, like I mentioned. You're gonna have all of these things happening sometimes at the same time. You might be able to get like all of these diagnoses. It's kind of like what happened with my wife at the same time. So you're gonna feel so stressed. You're gonna feel like you want to give up. But if you have a strong enough why, you're gonna be able to keep fighting. You're gonna be able to say like, this isn't even for me. This is for bigger than me. And that's what I realized when I realized that this wasn't even for me. That this is for my wife and the people that I can help. I realized that I had to keep going. Like my wife is my biggest inspiration. Like I started digging deep, and like I said, this wasn't easy because obviously it took therapy. Obviously, I was able to do it through meditation and like asking the right questions to myself about myself. So I found the reason why, and like I was saying, like my wife is the reason why. I mean, my wife is my inspiration, and the reason why she's my inspiration is because she has a lot of health challenges. And yet she still gets up and helps me get ready for work. I always tell her like, you don't even have to get ready. You can stay in bed. But she likes to help me. So I like to help her. And the other day we were talking, me and her, we were talking, and she told me, and this is pretty much what helped me find this out. She told me that when she met me, she said she saw potential on me. And then I realized like nobody has ever said or mentioned, or maybe I didn't understand if anybody else had said something like that. I never felt like that kind of like I never felt like somebody believed in me, and she did. She believed in me, and I was like, this is why she's my why. This is why she's the reason why I get up early. I work out to stay healthy so I can take care of her. I learn new things so I can help her when she feels sad or anything like that. I try to calm her. That and the reason why I don't run out of patience, like I even tell her, like, for you I have enough a lot of patience. Like I told her this the other day, like, for you I have a lot of patience. I can fight whoever needs to fight. I will do anything for my wife. Why? Because she is my wife. She's the reason why I do what I do, the reason why I get up early, the reason why I work so hard so I can take care of her. Now, that's my reason why. But you might ask yourself, how do I know what's my reason why? Why it's my why? Like if I can do it for myself, who can I do it for, or what can I do it for? Now, your why, like if you're a caregiver and you're the spouse, it could be your spouse, the person, the spoonie, the person that is ill, the person that is ill, or if you're the, or it could be your kids. Like for example, if you're a spoonie, I talked to somebody the other day about this, and the person said that the reason why I get up and I fight this every day, like it was a new like it was a new day, it's because of my kids. I want them to know that if this illness happens to them, they can get through it just like I am. Like they don't have to suffer in silence. They don't have to give up like many times that I did before I had kids. This is what the person said. And I was like, that is pretty interesting, because when you're a spoonie or a caregiver, or you're facing some type of health challenge, it could be mental or physical, you might not see like the people that are depending on you. Like if you're a mom or a dad and you're a spoonie, you don't see that you might not see, no, it doesn't happen all the time, but you might not see that people are depending on you sometimes, or that they draw their inspiration from you. Like I draw the inspiration from my wife. The same thing could happen to you. It could happen with your kids. You know, like if you talk to your kids about your illness, they might be able to understand like what's going on, and then they might be like, okay, I'm going to school. My mom is sick. I have a why to, let's say, be a doctor, to find the solution as to why my mom or why my dad is sick, or why this person is sick, you know? Like that could draw their inspiration. That could draw their why. And when you find a why, this is what happened to me. When you find a why, it gives you the fuel, unlimited fuel. Like this is how I felt, at least for me. Like when I realized that my wife was my why, I felt this like fire inside of me. Like I'm unstoppable, because I'm not doing it for me. I'm doing it for someone else, and that someone else needs me. So I'm going to do anything in my power to give her everything she deserves. And that's pretty much what finding your why is. In this situation, like I said, it could be your kids, it could be your spoonie, it could be the caregiver, but you have to dig deep and find that reason why. Because I've been doing a lot of meditation and reading about, like, humankind and everything, and psychology, and one of the things that I'm finding, at least the way that I'm feeling, is that when we find our why, like if it's a specific person or a specific thing that we're like, okay, like for example, cooking. For some people, cooking is their why, and they want to improve every day. Like they try new things and everything because they love food, and they want to provide something good, not just for themselves, but for their families, or for everybody else. Like they want to create something good to start a restaurant, and then let's say like they start the restaurant and then the restaurant takes off because they have a why. They want to feed people. So that's their why. It could and your why is in there. You just need to find it. That's the thing. It's like I didn't realize that my wife was my why, and now that I do, let me tell you, it's the best feeling ever because when I'm feeling down and everything, I look at her and I'm like, that's my why. That's why I have to keep going. And then I forget about being tired. I forget about that. And it's not going to take away your pain, but it's going to give you a new drive. It's going to give you like the fuel that you need. And for example, if you're a spoonie, you might not be able to do a lot of things even when you find your why, but then that kind of gives you the idea that you shouldn't be giving up. This is what happened to me. I'm just talking from my experience. Like you feel like you shouldn't be giving up, and even if you're in pain today, tomorrow is a new day, and then you can try whatever you need to do because you have a why. So in this situation, well, that's why I wanted to talk about it in today's episode. I wanted to share this experience with with you guys, because when I found this out, when I finally realized that, I was like, I wonder how many people are going through the same thing, like feeling like alone or anything like that. Because when you have a why, you don't really feel alone anymore, because you feel that why like next to you, telling you like, hey, I'm here. You say you were gonna do this for me. So, and you don't put yourself down. You just say like, that's right, I need to keep going. And once you keep going, you make it into a habit. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're in a wheelchair. My grandmother was in a wheelchair her whole life, and she took care of 3 kids. One of them my mom and my uncle, and she was fine. She never gave up. That's the thing. It's like I see things from like my past now, and my grandma, like if I give up taking care of my wife, I ask myself, how come my grandpa who went through like the depression in Mexico, and like all these bad times in Mexico, how was he able to do it? But how was he able to take care of my wife? And now that I'm in a better position, how am I not able to? Like that. And the reason why he was able to do it is because he had a big why. Like he never left my grandma. Like he was always with her. So that's my example of finding like the most powerful why, the most powerful reason. You're gonna find it. It's inside you. You're gonna find it. The thing is, like I said, like because of whatever is going on, sometimes we get distracted by outside things, and that's why, in order for you to find that why, you have to dig or look inside yourself. You have to look within you. So you have to look within you and never stop looking within you. And once you find out why, you will realize that you can do it. That it doesn't matter if you're a caregiver, a spoonie, and even if you don't feel like you're even if you feel like you're not a spoonie or a caregiver, this podcast is for everyone. Whatever you're going through, once you find your why, but you have to look deep inside you, then you're not gonna feel that sense of like giving up, because you have a why. It could be a why that you want to be the best ballerina ever or the best soccer player. That's a why. So you're gonna train hard. You want to be like the best bodybuilder. You're going to train. Like if you want to be the best cook, you're going to try everything. Like you have a why. It doesn't have to be a specific person. It can be something that you want to do, like a gift that you have. And once you find out why, you will see that why people sometimes say, I have a why to do what I do, and I'm unstoppable because of that. That's how I'm feeling right now. And I wanted to share that with you. So that's today's episode. I wanted to share that experience with you guys. I like I said, I appreciate everything, all the support, the feedback. Please keep sending me your feedback. I want to make this podcast for everyone. And also, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. If you want to share your story, you can send it to me at thecaregiverandspoony@gmail.com. And I leave you with this. Always take care of yourself.